Hi Taurus, this is your forecast for the month of October 2017. If you have visited me before, I'd like to thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is a general reading for Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, or Taurus Moon. It might also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, where you can find on-demand pages with videos for love, finance, and other readings. So Taurus, you're starting the month off with a great card, the Ace of Cups. And so something is going on in your world that makes you feel more emotionally alive. Now, maybe some of you, perhaps there's a pregnancy or birth in the offing, or maybe you're starting a new relationship, or you're taking a relationship you're in a new direction, or perhaps you're reviving a relationship. But there is a sense of emotional renewal. Something is going on that is stirring your heart, your passion, and maybe there's an awareness of the mind, body, spirit connection. But there's a sense of abundance this week and connections to others. For some of you, your intuition is growing. There's increased psychism. And for still others of you, you're involved in a creative project or something connected to art, or something that makes you feel good about life. And this is a week that requires your patience. Whatever you're doing, you're almost there. You may not be quite there, but you're building the foundation. And whatever this is, it's something worthy of your time, your energy, and your effort. So you're feeling so good. Your cup is running over. You may feel emotionally overwhelmed with a situation, and it's going to be virtually impossible for you to keep that love and emotion to yourself. You're going to want to share your feelings with others. So this could be a week where you put something out there, something passionate, something loving. So maybe you receive that from another person, or maybe you offer something to another person, a proposal of marriage, or you tell somebody exactly how much you love them. Some of you, maybe you reinvigorate your relationship. Maybe you decide to renew your marriage vows, or you decide that you're going to surprise somebody with a beautiful gift or a gesture of some sort. Or again, maybe you are receiving that. For others of you, you are just, enamored with another person, and you are willing to be a victim of love. Somebody you've connected to feels like, that love at first sight kind of thing. So you may be very impulsive. Now, in the negative, which we don't want to focus on too much, but there's always a possibility, this could be a week of moodiness where maybe you're afraid of love. There's been a lack of intimacy. You're failing to initiate something that you want. And maybe you need to move your relationship in a new direction. For some of you, you're overwhelmed and things are moving too fast. You're getting too caught up in love. And for a small few of you, unfortunately, maybe you feel a sense of rejection, like you're not loved. You feel brokenhearted. Maybe you're giving up on love. Maybe it's the end of an affair, or something you're involved in just didn't give you that emotional fulfillment that you needed. But in the best of worlds, this Ace of Cups says, again, there's some new beginning for you, and you're feeling the emotional force of it. There's a passion stirring, and this is a week that largely ties to partnership or things that you're involved in that make you feel happy and fulfilled. Now, the second week, you have the Empress card. So for some of you, maybe you are giving birth, maybe you're having a baby, or because this week ties to maternal figures or important women in your life. This may also be a Taurus person. It could be that you are sharing your emotions about being a mother, or you're sharing your emotions with somebody that means a lot to you. Maybe you're sharing your emotions with your girlfriend, or with your mother, or a trusted friend, or you're involved in a very creative project that really gets your creative juices flowing. Whatever it is, this is a week that focuses on creativity, taking that productive action, nurturing, healing, harmony, and for some of you, sensuality. Especially if you've started a new love relationship, you may have a strong physical connection to another person, and your sexuality may be important, and fertility. So again, if you're looking to have a baby, this could be a good week, for you to get started on that, because you could get some success in your efforts, whatever they may be. Some of you, you feel this sense of happiness. You want to improve your situation, your sense of success, your sense of well-being by taking better care of yourself. Maybe you're eating better. Maybe you're decorating your home or rearranging things, or, you're in nesting mode. Maybe you're cooking. This could be a week that focuses on pampering yourself, taking care of yourself, and recognizing the splendor of you or someone you love, that inner beauty, or perhaps the need to recognize that. Now, for some of you, this is a week of optimism. If you're putting in effort, there's something that's important to you, and success is written in the cards for you if you're trying, if you're honest in your effort. Even if you're not there yet, you're making your way. This is also going to be a good week, especially if you needed to share your feelings, for you to connect to somebody. If there's been some kind of misunderstanding or some disruption in a relationship, this is the week where you can improve that. And you can reach out to others. You can make new connections. You can improve the connections you're involved with. This is a week of luck, opportunity, growing your talents, your resources, manifesting something, putting in the effort. It's not quite like the magician card where you're taking your resources and you're making it happen. This is about laying the groundwork. You're setting the scene in order to attract that opportunity to you. So being very tactful, being diplomatic is going to be important, and coming up with good strategies to achieve whatever it is that you want to make happen. This could be a week of taking those small steps, making those small leaps with the big picture in mind. And for some of you, maybe you need to pamper yourself. Maybe you need to take a time out to just focus on your sense of self, your happiness, and your well-being. Because if you've had some difficulties, maybe there were some things that were said, or you're moving through something emotional, then removing yourself for just a bit, maybe there's something that you even want to give up on. If you just step back and recharge yourself, focus on pampering you for just a minute, you're going to feel refreshed, and you're going to be ready to get back up and deal with something that perhaps you were ready to give up on. Now, the flip side of this is overly emotional. Your cup is running over because there's just too much of something. You're being self-indulgent. Whatever that may be, whether you're spending too much, maybe you're talking too much, or you're exercising or eating, or there's some extravagance in your life, whatever it is, whether it is gambling, sex, power, money, shopping, food, drink. Maybe you're going too far, you're pressing the limit. Or maybe you're so caught up in something, you're being too stringent, you're exercising too much, you're going overboard with something. And as a result, it's creating some setbacks, some problems, and probably reflecting on your reputation as well. So this is a week where you need to be mindful of communication and, again, being diplomatic and continuing to be optimistic and enthusiastic about what you're doing, and not allowing apathy to keep you from being motivated to follow your dreams. Now, the third week you have the High Priestess. So this is another major card. So there could be something going on behind the scenes. Perhaps somebody is sharing a secret, or, somebody's being overly emotional, and maybe somebody doesn't want to get involved in something. Or if your psychism is increasing, maybe you are offering some insight, some advice to somebody. This could be a week that ties to, again, women in your life, your daughter, your sister, a friend. This could be somebody that is, a projection of who you think they are, but not necessarily the real them. This is the ideal of a person. So for some of you, maybe, again, this was love at first sight. You were projecting all of these things onto another person, and, which they may or may not be. But this could be a week where you get some enlightenment. Maybe you gain some type of psychological insight on something. Your intuition is kicking in and giving you some messages. Maybe somebody's giving you some good advice, somebody that knows a little bit more about something going on than you do. For some of you, maybe you're into some type of esoteric study or getting some kind of knowledge. Or for some of you, you're trying to get a grip on your emotions and gain some mastery over your internal landscape. Whatever it is, your emotions are running high this week, and people feel that, they sense it, and they respond accordingly. Whatever you're putting out, it's going to be reflected back to you. And there are going to be some changes in your relationships this week, both personal and professional, particularly with women. And so you're doing some reevaluation, you're making some changes, and you're going to be able to rely on your intuition to give you the answers about what changes to make. So this is a week to have some kind of direction, to focus. Your motivation, your drive is important, and creating or following through with a plan is necessary. Now, for some of you, you're going to have to really monitor how you're feeling and what your moods are, so that you don't let that override the truth. This is a week about sticking to the facts and not becoming overly emotional. There could be something that comes up, especially if it's about health or emotions, that triggers you to want to protect somebody that you care deeply for. And you may be, overstepping boundaries a bit, and as a result of that, your relationship becomes more challenging. Again, if you are a willing victim to a circumstance because your emotions are getting in the way, you may see something as your destiny. This is the person that's meant for me, or the situation that I should be involved in, when in fact it's just something that has crossed your path. Whatever it is, you're definitely going to have opportunities this week, and you're going to have to consider those carefully. Could be money or some other type of opportunity. And there are some conditions connected to it, and you'll have to decide whether those conditions are worth it for you. For others of you, especially if you're letting your emotions get in the way, you may be manipulating situations in order to suit you. Now you're going to change the rules to the game. And so maybe the purpose is for you to confuse somebody. Maybe you're playing hard to get, or some mind games, or vice versa. Or maybe you're trying to, get past the competition. Whatever it is, you may be doing something that creates a bit of drama, and that's not really what you were hoping for. Maybe you're not even ready to deal with it. So this is going to be a week of going within, or getting some sound advice, listening to that intuition and not mistaking it for your emotions, because you're going to have to rethink something that you believed, or some promise that was made, or a feeling that you have about something, or a goal that you wanted to achieve. And again, making sure that you're listening to that inner voice and hearing it clearly is going to be important so that you can move forward effectively. Now, the last week you have this Four of Cups. So some of you, maybe you were dissatisfied by what you heard or some connection. It wasn't fulfilling for you. You didn't want to accept what was being offered. So again, you're still reevaluating, and maybe you're doing that on your own. Maybe you connected with somebody, you shared your feelings, perhaps a secret, maybe you were dissatisfied with that. And now you're withdrawing in order to go over that situation. And it could be that, there's a feeling of discontent about something. Now, if you were apathetic, if you were just not getting involved, perhaps you missed an opportunity. Maybe you were indifferent to something. Maybe you're socially isolating yourself and just turning inward. But this could be a week where you tap into that empty feeling that something is missing. Maybe you're depressed, or there's a lack of motivation. Or perhaps you're simply taking some time to consider your next step. There is going to be an opportunity that presents. You'll have to pay attention and be aware when it arrives. Otherwise, you may miss it. It ties into your hopes and your dreams. It could be something unexpected, like a gift, or again, some opportunity that requires your action. So this is going to be a week where you're going to have to step out there on faith. Whether that's, faith in you, or a situation, or a person, or all of it. Because, you are swinging on either end of the spectrum. Either you're self-satisfied and you're only concerned with your own affairs, you don't need what's being offered, or you're feeling a sense of anxiety. Maybe you don't know if you should take something that's being offered. So this is going to be a week where material, emotional, all comes into play. And somebody may, push something toward you, and you'll have to evaluate it. Again, it may have strings attached to it, and so you'll have to think carefully. Now, this person may be offering it to you because they feel this would be good for you. And they're sending it to you, in order to be helpful. But when you think about it, when you look at the future of it, you consider that if you take these steps, then it will result in these consequences. And that's not something you necessarily want to deal with. So only you will be able to decide whether whatever is being presented is worthy of your time and investment. Because again, there could be some potential problems or pitfalls that you see that they're not aware of. For those of you who are feeling good, again, maybe you have a strong connection to another person, or you're feeling good about a project that you're working on, or your sense of material security, then this is going to be a week where a number of possibilities present, opportunities that could give you a boost materially, emotionally, financially, and they're just within your grasp, again, if you're being aware. But if you're suffering from some doubt or uncertainty, you don't know what the future holds, and so you barely are holding on to the present, you are reevaluating some decisions that you made. You're going over some things and you're thinking, if that was the best choice, was that the right thing? Should I have said that? Should I have done that? Maybe that wasn't a good idea. For others of you, regardless of what's being offered, there is something that you are focused on wholeheartedly, and you won't be able to relax, you won't be able to take any advice, you won't be able to look at what's being offered because you are focused on one thing only, and that is solving this problem or getting this task finished or taking care of something. And so for you, all bets are off until this thing gets handled. For others of you, again, there's something being presented presented. Somebody is sharing something and you don't like it, but it may be truth. It may be something that you're in denial about, or you're taking other people or a situation for granted, and you're, flowing right along thinking that the status quo is in place when in fact there's been a change. So, this is a week for you to be aware of what's being offered, to do some deep evaluation and not just take things at face value, but carefully consider what is good for you. Now, the underlying energy is this King of Cups. So it could be that there is a water sign person that is important to events for you. This could be a Cancer, a Scorpio, a Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. So this is somebody who is very sensitive. If you want to share your feelings, he's a very good listener. He's a very good counselor. So you would feel comfortable in confiding with this person. He's in touch with the feminine side of himself. He's not afraid of emotions. He enjoys discussing his feelings. He cares about being intimate in every way, and he is real. So, it's not just about the physical side of intimacy. He's also, concerned about meeting your needs in other ways, because he's very empathetic and he's very empathic. So he cares about what you care about. And if maybe you're blown over in your connection with him because, he's very, how shall I say this? He's going to provide a very sensual physical experience. Now, on the negative, this is somebody who's prone to depression. Maybe, he's extremely sensitive, or he struggles with practicalities, or he hasn't mastered his emotions and they come out as passive-aggressive or manipulative. Now, for some of you, this is going to represent an important male figure in your life, or a father figure, or again, this can be a female, but we're looking at it from the male aspect. If this is a trait, this is going to be a month where you acutely feel that dissatisfaction about your emotions, whether it's a relationship that's not going the way you want, or because you realize you don't have the relationship you want, that you've been, operating on autopilot for far too long, and that you really want to have that deep connection with somebody. Or you could be getting involved with somebody and, the King of Cups is very charming, magnetic, very seductive. And maybe you realize you care for this person more so than, you had expected. So you are likely feeling a mutual attraction to this person. Now, for others of you, there's some issues taking place that complicate your relationship, and maybe that's the dissatisfaction. They're not feeling as rewarding to you as they should be. And perhaps it's because there's some issues that connect to maybe unfaithfulness, or an inability to maintain an intimate relationship, or somebody, giving far too much power to their emotions. Sometimes this, again, you have that high priestess, projections, ideals. Maybe somebody was placed on a pedestal only to be knocked down. There could be issues where somebody's overly sensitive, or, somebody feels powerless or victimized, or you're looking for love, but you just can't hit that mark. It always comes up short in the other person. And for some of you, maybe you were intimate with somebody and then, the morning after you were like, why did I do that? In the positive, this is, good feelings. There's, whatever it is, there's an intense desire that you have for something. Your emotions are very strong this month. Either you want to improve a situation for yourself, or you like what you have going and you want to make sure that that status quo stays in place, or you want to protect something and defend it, or in some cases you're dissatisfied. You want to dismantle it and destroy it. Whatever it is, there's no gray area. You feel very strong in your desires, or those are coming at you. Now, this could be a cause for celebration. This could be a month of good news. Again, sharing those feelings, feeling a sense of happiness and well-being. Lots of opportunities presented that will bolster you emotionally and financially. So some doors are opening, possibly some travel. This could be a month where you realize you need to relax, you need to let go, you need to let your hair down. And so this is going to center around your success, your achievement, your objectives, and how you are going about to meet success. And it's going to address how stable and secure you feel, where you stand. So your decisions are going to be motivated by your connections to others and how stable and secure those make you feel. Now, this is a month for you to remain optimistic about situations, but not fall into total self-indulgence, becoming apathetic. And it's about being tolerant of other people and their viewpoints, not closing yourself off to what others have to say to you. So there's going to be issues of sharing, abundance, and in some cases, perhaps third-party situations that you are examining. But on the whole, this is sharing with other people, sharing your emotions, and you'll have to be discerning about what you take to heart that people tell you. Where reason and logic fails to win over your more indulgent or emotional side, you're going to find an opportunity to draw on your strength in order to stabilize the situation and redress some balance. For many of you, you may feel again as if you're drowning in emotions, love, and really there's no way out of it. You know, maybe you're being smothered with love, or you're smothering someone else with love. It also holds the possibility for some very deep healing. Something very powerful and profound can take place this month. Maybe your psychic ability, heightens to new awareness. Or for some of you, in the negative, this is an obsession with the past, an inability to let go, that apathy kicking in and leading over to depression. All right, Taurus, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.